Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video is about a tour that is set up to the battlefield of Moytura, and it's part of our Druid Forest School Sacred West of Ireland tours. Now there's a tour already set up on the 28th of June, but in fact if you can't manage that day, you can book in on any of the tour days shown on the tours page of the Druid Forest School website, the address of which is down below this video on YouTube. And if you want a tour on a day that's not listed as a regular tour day, get in touch and see if we're free. So the tour to the battlefield of Moytura is absolutely wonderful, and it'll be really great if you come along. Normally we meet up with you at Castle Baldwin and you follow us in convoy to the foot of the mountain, the small mountain, easy to get up to, on which the battle was fought. But in fact, on the 28th of June, we can give a couple of lifts from the Riverside Hotel in Sligo. So all the prices and how to book are on the tours page of the Druid Forest School website. That's the detail. But now let me tell you a bit about what's so special about the battlefield of Moytura. Okay, well basically in the Iron Age, the Tuatha De Danann, the children or the people of Goddess Danu, returned to Ireland. Ireland had lost its great connection to sacredness and beauty and the divine because of the misrule, if you like, of the dark, twisted and evil Fomorian people who were at the time of their return, let's say 500 BC in the Iron Age, were led by Balor of the evil eye. He was said to have had like a third eye in the center of his forehead, and if he directed it on you, you died. You may have met people who can do this, and he was one of those. And the people, the Fomorians, were so dark and exploitative. And so the Tuatha De Danann, having completed great voyaging in the Atlantic and the Mediterranean, returned to Ireland with their divine message and found they had to actually fight two battles to secure a place on this land. The first was against the Fir Bolg, and the second battle of Moytura was against the Fomorians. So this tour takes you to the mountain top, which is the battlefield, and as I said, it's easy to access. You know, it's up well-made paths, fairly well-made paths. And what happened was that the Tuatha De Danann accepted the leadership of the great god Llugh the day before the battle. And before the battle, Llugh spoke to each of the warriors and said, "What is the special skill that you bring to this battle against the forces of darkness?" And so one of the many things we do in the visit to the battlefield is do vision work with that incident, applying it to our own lives. And there's a quite wonderful stop-off on the way at a place called the Bed of the Couple. And what happened was, on the eve before the battle, the Dagda went to this place and he found the Morrigan. She was naked and standing astride the river Unshin, or Unius in the manuscript, where it leaves the loch. And they made love on Samhain. And basically that sacred ritual mating confirmed the sovereignty of the people and secured their victory in battle, and the Morrigan prophesied that they would indeed have victory. And so there's very deep vision work there too about the union of sacred feminine and sacred masculine and what it confers on each. And a whole other dimension of our visit to the battlefield is that some of the rocks there have incredible earth energies, and it's very good to go to those particular rocks and feel the energies and work with the energies, the energy lines that cross the battlefield. And lastly, in the centre of the battlefield is the Eglone stone from which Llugh directed the battle. And that, in my opinion, is a portal to, like a hollow hill below, one of the Shees. And again, very valuable vision work can be done in contact with that stone. And just a final point, you can see from the battlefield Loch Nassul, the lock of the eye, the disappearing lake. And basically what happened is at the height of the battle, Llugh took his slingshot and he threw his shot, and the stone hit the evil Balor right in the middle of his forehead and drove the evil eye through the back of the skull. And the myth says that where it landed on the ground behind Balor, this loch appeared. So basically there is such wisdom in these ancient myths. The earth energies are immense, and we in fact seek to contact the gods and goddesses of the Tuatha De Danann, not reconstructed from manuscripts essentially written by Christian scribes, using those traditions, yes, but contacting them to make contact with their divine nature, because they are indeed facets of the divine. They are indeed beings on the threshold of the sacred. It was that gave them such power. It was that for which they were worshipped when the Tuatha De Danann and associated peoples voyaged all the way from the far east of the Mediterranean, what's now southern Turkey, in their boats of wicker and cowhide. Island hopped through the Mediterranean, went round Spain and Portugal and Brittany, and ended up in the high energy rich rocks here in the west of Ireland. So go on the Druid Forest School website and also have a look about the blog I've done specifically for the tour to the battlefield of Moytura. Come along on Friday the 28th of June if you can manage it, but if you can't, book in this tour on a day you can manage. These tours are, unique and very, very special, and I feel, in short, the insight, the healing and the growth we can get through contact with these high energy places and through standing before these gods and goddesses in vision is utterly immense. So we look forward to seeing you. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually filming this from the Llugh Forest Park nearby. It's the most wonderful place, and that's another place you must visit when you come to the west of Ireland. Bye-bye.